If there's one thing our society is really good at, it's being present, being in the moment, not letting anything come between us and whatever we put our minds to, whether that's enjoying nature, spending time with our family, or even enjoying the music that we love. That's also why you see so many people being themselves in public, dancing, singing whenever their favorite song comes on, which is why you never see comments of people saying bro is emoting on videos like that. We're getting somewhere, don't worry. It's increasingly obvious that as a society we're growing ever more dependent on technology, but nothing has done more damage than the camera app on our phones. While some people use it to record their child's first steps, some people record other people doing stupid stuff to make fun of them online. Which, as I'm sure you can guess, has caused crazy levels of increase to social anxiety, fear of being filmed, stuff like that. Especially in music, where physical expression used to be people's go-to whenever they were listening to music, but now it seems like that's kind of been put to the back burner. Only there was an album that came out recently that called attention to that and urged people to dance more. Oh yeah, that one. Don't Tap the Glass by Tyler, the Creator was an album that came out of almost nowhere, but serves this exact purpose. An album that was released somewhat spontaneously that calls attention to the growing fear of being yourself in public and also the growing social acceptance of filming in general. From the rollout to the album itself to the private listening party that Tyler held right before the album's release, everything about this project just screams be yourself. And I want to talk about that because if you don't know, my name is Henry, I love music, and this is where I talk about it. If you've never seen me before, welcome. I make music videos every week, whether it's about albums, artists, different topics in music. I cover everything. And there's a lot of new music coming out in the next few weeks, so you should subscribe to stay tuned and see what I talk about. But without further ado, let's talk a little bit more about Don't Tap the Glass. Now, before we talk about the contents of this album, it's very important that we talk about the lead up and rollout of this album, even though it was only like 2 or 3 days. Everything started a week ago, as of this recording, where Tyler kept posting the date July 21st. Now, everybody assumed that this was going to be the sticky music video because that's the last thing that he had teased in the Chromacopia era. So it would come to everyone's surprise where after one of the Chromacopia shows during his tour, the entire vibe of the show would completely change. Upon exiting the arena, everything shifted from green to red, where the words "Don't Tap the Glass" were being displayed. And in the courtyard of the arena, a very big-fisted, cartoonish statue of Tyler, the Creator could be seen. Now, still no one really knew what this meant until Golf Wang launched these CDs and vinyls of Don't Tap the Glass. Tyler would then announce Don't Tap the Glass on his social medias, and the website, don'ttaptheglass.com, would launch, where these 3 rules were displayed. 1. Body movement. 2. Only speak in glory, leave your baggage at home. And 3. Don't tap the glass. Again, not a lot of context here, and one of the things that happens when there is such a short rollout for an album is that there is a lot of speculation to do. But then Tyler announced there was going to be a listening event for the album where no phones were allowed, and the tagline was, "Don't come if you're not going to dance." Tyler held true to his word, banning all phones from the event, having a just complete and total dance party, and playing the album 2 times back to back. Where he would later release a memoir talking about the normalized fear of not wanting to dance in public or be perceived, and how this listening party was just so cool because of that. It is then within 3 days, Don't Tap the Glass was released. It was a 10-song album. It was dropped the next morning. It's a very free, flowy, and concise dance album that shows some of my favorite Tyler production that I've heard in a very long time. It's really good. But I'm not here to talk about my opinion on the album or to rate it. You can literally find a ton of people doing that exact same thing here. I want to talk about the bigger long-term picture that this album is trying to paint. So now, knowing all of these rules, let's talk about each of them individually and see where the album breaks them down. Starting with 1, body movement. I read an article by Days Digital that talked a lot about surveillance culture, where the increase of surveillance cameras, or just personal cameras in general, amped up social anxiety and people's desire to express themselves in fear of being perceived or facing backlash. Like I mentioned earlier, everybody has a camera, so you never know if what you're doing is being filmed and posted online for whoever knows how many people are going to see it. Which, as I'm sure you can put together, has caused a decrease of people wanting to express themselves. And Tyler talks about that multiple times on this album, but it has also been a reoccurring theme in a lot of Tyler's music recently. If you ever see a video of Tyler out in public or being filmed by paparazzi, the top comment is pretty much always, "That's why he made Noid." So let's talk about why he made Noid. Oh, I know I'm gonna hate watching that part back. That was so lame. Wait, that's literally what I'm making the video on. Not lame. Noid was a song off of Tyler's last album where he talked about how paranoid he gets thinking about how many people are watching him or filming him, stuff like that. How he just goes out and does normal stuff and then finds a video of himself doing that he didn't even know was taken. And I know none of us are as famous or as sought after as Tyler the Creator, but the ease of access that social media presents makes it incredibly easy to take a video of somebody doing something you think is dumb or stupid or funny, post it, and see how many people enjoy it, I guess. And because of that, people are kind of hyper aware of who is perceiving them, who's watching them, who's filming them, stuff like that. Which, you guessed it, has caused a decrease of people actually enjoying music to a physical extent. At its core, Don't Tap the Glass is a dance album. It's an album you're supposed to put on and groove to, whether that's by yourself, in the car, or at a club. Literally, that's what the album is supposed to sound like. So boom, the easiest one taken care of. Body movement. Just dance more. But let's talk about the second rule. Only speak in glory, leave your baggage at home. Now, I don't know if you are as online as I am, which I hope you're not. But man, people are negative. Oh my goodness. Whenever you talk about negativity as it pertains to social media, there is usually always one platform that people kind of immediately think of. And for good reason. Good old Twitter. How you doing? Twitter is essentially everybody's virtual punching bag that they get all of their negativity out, especially within the music stage. You can go on there and say you like an album, and instead of people responding to you with like genuine criticism or their genuine opinion, they'll tell you you don't deserve oxygen. Like 99% of the time. And it's not just in discussion or even on Twitter where it happens. Negativity is literally all over the internet, which has caused people to be hyper aware of what they put themselves out as, what they are showing people they're like. Because you wouldn't want to be yourself if the comment section is just cooking you the entire time. And it's only funny sometimes when people deserve it. Let's make that clear. So what this has caused is an increase of people just following trends, following what other people think is already cool, so they can kind of put themselves in a mold, so they'll already be cool. Now there's a word for this kind of thing, and I know you've probably heard it 1,000 times in the last hour, but I'm gonna say it again. Performative. I know, the word you saw 100 times on the TikTok of a dude in jorts and a flannel with a tote bag listening to Claro and drinking matcha. It is the buzzword to end all buzzwords as of late. And to an extent, there's a lot of reasons why being performative is the way it is now. But if you take a step back and think about why it got this way, a lot of it comes from people not wanting to be themselves for fear of being harassed. If you see something trending or you see something that people are already thinking is cool, if you hop on that trend, then by proxy, people are gonna think you're cool. It doesn't just have to be about clothes or music. If you see that the cool thing right now is to be like chill and nonchalant and not express yourself in public, then you're not gonna do it. If you stop being mysterious and aura farming, that 73-year-old grandma might see you dancing to your favorite song and think you're weird. You can have that happen. And all of this is just amped up and fueled to an extent where you just won't be yourself in public. I think a big part of this album is Tyler trying to bring that part out of the people that listen to his music and to let other people know that they can't dictate what he does. Telling you to only speak in glory, leave your baggage at home. Stop being performative and being negative and be yourself. Boom, so second one, already done. This is surprisingly easy. So what's the third one? Don't tap the glass. Now before the album came out, and to an extent it is still this way, I thought this was pertaining to the statue we saw of Tyler behind the glass, where don't tap the glass is meaning like don't physically tap the glass, don't anger the monster that's inside this cage. And like I said, to an extent it is seen that way, and it's even referenced as that on the album. But again, we're looking at the bigger picture because I like to think way too deep into things that don't really matter. I think the third rule, don't tap the glass, ties both of the previous rules together in the whole overarching concept of this album. It's about cell phones. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, we are so consumed by our cell phones that it has caused a lot of the negativity that I already mentioned. And when Tyler is saying that on the album, I believe it's in two different areas, about himself and about you, the person listening to the album. The part pertaining to himself is very similar to Noid, where he doesn't want to be overly filmed, overly photographed, like all of the stuff that takes away from enjoying the music that he is presenting to you, which is the reason he didn't allow people to bring their phones to the listening event. But I think as it pertains to us, it's a big reminder that We need to be in the moment more. My friend Ohm is a very big Tyler the Creator fan, and one of the things he pointed out to me after listening to this album was the meme of like, no phones out, everyone living in the moment at concerts where everyone is videoing the artist. And how this album is kind of presenting itself in a way to remind us that we need to be in the moment more when we're listening to this kind of music, which would allow us to express ourselves more. Whether it means to have it put down completely and just enjoy life as it is and enjoy the music you're listening to, or a reminder to other people to let other people enjoy the moment too. Not every interaction has to be filmed, not everything has to be on camera, just enjoy it how it is. Now, is my phone on a tripod pointing towards me while I say all this to post online to a channel that has 1,000 subscribers? Yes. Is that hypocritical? Not really, but I don't know. But at its core, the third rule is a reminder that your cell phone is your biggest vice. Whether that means it's keeping you out of the moment, at a concert, with your family, something like that, or if the stuff that's on it is keeping you from being yourself. And that's what I think number 3, don't tap the glass, actually means. Now, after Tyler posted that memoir I mentioned earlier, he made a follow-up post saying that this isn't the reason he created the album. He didn't create the album to point this part of society out. It just naturally happened. Tyler making an album that at its core is him being himself, him dancing around, him having fun with the production, him not pertaining to a release schedule or anything that fans are expecting him to do, is what is painting this bigger picture. Which is why I think Don't Tap the Glass is a very important album, not just in Tyler's discography, but for music in general. I think this is going to get looked back on very favorably, and that this is going to start what I would hope to be a chain reaction in listening to music going forward. And hey, you may think I'm thinking way too deep into this, and that it's just a fun, dancey album. And you would also be completely right. One of the best things and my favorite things about music is that everyone listens to it differently and everyone thinks about it differently. There's no wrong answers. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and share my thoughts about what I thought the album was painting a picture of, and how good it was, because it was so good. But I think that's going to be it. If you stayed this late in the video, thank you so much. It really helps my channel out. If you subscribe, you will see a lot more videos like this. There's a lot of really good music that's going to come out in July, so I'll have a lot of videos on stuff like that next. Albums like Alfredo 2 by Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist, Vanisher by Quideka. There's just a lot of music coming out that I want to talk about. Or maybe you want to share your thoughts on the album or want to give me something to talk about. Leave a comment. Let me know what your favorite part of the album was, if you loved it, if you hated it, or what you want me to talk about next. But that's going to do it for me. I will see you guys next week. Goodbye.